All right.
Hey
I don't know
everybody.
what's going on. Hey, everybody. Do we do
This might this
it?
might this might be the second time we do this, but here I am, Chadman. Here with Daniel, here with Jordan or Slogstop, who has a Twitter, so you should go follow him.
That's me. I will actually tweet things mostly relevant to the video game book club.
Yes, indeed.
That's
Um,
so.
but let's get straight into it. The
Mhm.
our current topic, as you can see, is the next game that we're gonna play on Video Game Book Club. Um, right here, it's Darkest Dungeon.
The
Uh,
darkest dungeon.
um,
Winning by one vote in the video game book club.
yes.
Just barely beating Enter the Gungeon, which I know Kevin is is
and
gonna be salty about.
and Valkyria Chronicles. I'm also
And
assaulted.
Valkyrie Chronicles.
I was the one that first suggested once Valkyria. I mean, Enter the Dungeon in the previous one,
Hmm.
and that got slightly also by like one vote beaten out by Hollow Knight. Then I suggested
I
Valkyria Chronicles on this one, and Kevin put in Enter the Dungeon, I think.
yeah, I
And
think
those
so.
two got also. So I'm always there, but not quite there.
Yeah, for the record, I voted for all three.
Yeah,
I think I put in Portal, which had a decent amount of votes. Seven
I
votes.
I bought it for Portal 2. That's not a game I mind playing, but the one we're playing is Darkest Dungeon. Turn-based RPG with with slightly permitted. I actually don't know much about it. No.
Very Lovecraftian. Lots of creeping dread and
Yes.
very narrative.
Yes.
It's pretty
Indeed.
cool. Expect to go insane and or have a heart attack.
Oh yeah, and
It's
in
it's
the
gonna be
game,
a good time.
it should be a good time.
It's gonna be a great
Um,
time.
we are. I do have to say that the DLC is optional for those who wanna play it. All it describes here is that it's designed to be played alongside an existing campaign or as a brand new one. So I know I will be trying. I think I will be starting with the base game and then moving on to the DLC.
Hmm. Thanks to the Steam Summer Sale, the game is only $10, down from 25. So it's pretty good timing for us.
Yeah, no, it's perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. We totally didn't plan for this to land on this summer sale, but it did, so we good.
All right.
Uh, but that's
Moving
a
on into shoot the shit.
yes.
All right.
Let's go to the next topic: StarCraft semifinals.
Beginning with esports. Yeah. StarCraft GSL just wrapped up. The semifinals just wrapped up, maybe last week, and the finals actually begin today for StarCraft 2 competitions. This is in GSL, which is a Korea only circuit. It's not like the WCS, which is the world circuit, which is what Blizzard casts. And actually, there's more about that later in Shoot the Shit. Uh, so check it out. You'll see some really good players. There's one player. Okay, he's been in GSL in the semifinals, and he's been a finalist 6 times. Like he's gone through the semifinals and he's always lost it. As soon as he's gotten to the finals, his name is Sue. He's a Zerg player, so you know he's going to be good.
Sorry.
Definitely watch if anybody's videos. Check out Sue. You'll find it by going to Africa TV, Africa TV on YouTube,
Yeah, yeah, I see. I see.
and looking up GSL. I'm gonna be watching. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, and then this, I don't know much about StarCraft. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
No worries.
So
I'll
I
keep
won't
you
be
up to
watching
date.
that. But in the same vein, we got this that Blizzard and Twitch sign a deal. Blizzard and Twitch love, and this is this is actually pretty big.
Oh yeah.
In the sense that here we got the news from Polygon. In the sense that YouTube is also buying exclusive tournaments. Like right now, there's Counter Strike going on, ECS, and you can only watch it on YouTube, and it has 50,000 viewers right now. But it's just this league that is exclusive. It's not Counter Strike exclusive. Um, So Twitch is fighting back. Twitch is saying no, esports also ours. And Blizzard, not Overwatch, not StarCraft, no, just Blizzard games have a deal now with Twitch. So
Great Mama Blizzard.
yeah, Great Mama Blizzards, and not only that, Twitch is also on Twitch Prime. This month you're getting some loot boxes, some cool gold loot boxes. You will get other free. That's in Overwatch, also in Hearthstone, also in Heroes of the Storm. You're gonna start receiving loot, so it's not only just this is the place you're gonna be watching these tournaments. It's also this is the place where you're gonna be promoted to play these games. So it's a very
This is
symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, the two just kind of go together. I mean, you see Blizzard IPs all over Twitch. I guess it's kind of natural to see them partnering now in this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And you've
but
got, let's see.
yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, but I was gonna say it's gonna put a hamper on YouTube big because Twitch has been doing also this with Magic. They've been doing this with other stuff. Um, it's just gonna like put a hamper on YouTube gaming, which is trying to get more popular, big time.
And Yahoo Gaming too. Oh,
You mean Rip Yahoo?
rip Yahoo. Apparently Yahoo had an esports division. I had never heard about it.
It's-
Like a year and a half they've been going, and they have just gone under. So Yahoo Esports, I never knew you, but apparently they had Super Smash Brothers.
I like how the link here is from actual Yahoo. It's from actual. Sorry guys, we dead.
Right? They had a logo and everything,
Yeah.
but it's really cool to be seeing Twitch and Blizzard. They've got like 7 tournaments now showing up on Twitch. It's huge for esports,
Mhm. Mhm.
and it's gonna be really cool to cover it all. But Heroes of the Storm, I don't know. I don't think Heroes of the Storm would be fun to watch. I guess it's just me and MOBAs.
I think that appeals to specific. I think Blizzard is very much pushing these games to be competitive, when I don't think that's how games become competitive. It can happen, but I
Mhm.
haven't seen Blizzard, other than with WoW, be successful. Hearthstone is somewhat successful, but be truly
Mhm.
successful with making like a competitive game. StarCraft
Yeah.
being the biggest exception because it just developed that way.
Yeah.
But it's StarCraft in 2017. Well,
We'll see. I don't like StarCraft 2 as much as I do StarCraft 1.
mhm,
And I get that kind of feeling among StarCraft players in the community too,
mhm.
as if it was like just an organic, almost a golden age of esports where it just kind of
Yeah.
happened.
Well, it's also the birthplace. So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Christians
I guess it is.
Christians celebrate the birthplace of Jesus, and you know people are gonna celebrate this birthplace of esports, right?
We'll make a pilgrimage to the Zergling Shrine in front of Blizzard HQ.
I mean, when you go to like a convention
Lay
or
a vial
something,
of salt.
when you go to like an esport event, like you walk by the StarCraft place and you might stop for a second. Well, if you're not into Dota, you're not gonna you're not gonna look at it at all. You're gonna be like, oh, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna look for my CS:GO or whatever. But at StarCraft, you're like, I respect you. You know. But
17 years, something like that. It's still not. All right.
moving on,
Oh.
let's talk about yours. Let's talk about this Team Fortress 2 balance patch.
Yeah, dude. Apparently, people still patch and play Team Fortress 2. Well,
A Valve
it shouldn't
patch,
come
is
as a
yeah.
it shouldn't come as a surprise. They opened TF2 to the community a little while ago, years ago now,
Hmm.
and there are a bunch of community weapons and skins and hats, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And like a year ago, they actually released a competitive variant, and now they're releasing some serious patches for it, um, with the aim of balancing it.
A lot of patches, like a lot.
Yeah. Did you ever play TF2, Shadmed?
You can call me Daniel, but uh, I mean I played it casually and very little.
Literally, it's literally.
No, we're not gonna go the Linus Tech Tip way of like forcing it in. This is Slick's computer. Mr. Slugstop, could you please? No.
Right? Oh, don't dox me, man.
But I did play, I have played TF2 casually. I do understand the game, and I've seen a lot of people play it as well. Um, but like, I've never really got like very into it. So
Mhm.
these patches for me are, I don't know how to comprehend them, but it's a lot of patches. Still, when you compare this game with like Counter Strike and
Aye.
Dota, we get like
Yeah,
patches all the time.
aye. It's kind of it's kind of almost out of the blue, this one, but
Mhm. Mhm.
they overhauled a bunch of the weapons for all the classes, and it's surprising just to see them still supporting all of this. They dug into every class and changed up some of the weapons to balance the meta.
Yeah.
And it's like, good one, Valve. You get my thumb for that. TF2 has always had a special place with me. It's
And with a
like
lot of
800
people,
hours. Aye.
with a lot of people, not just you. You know, Brian loved TF2. You know, like
Yeah.
I know so many people whose game, and the reason they play Overwatch right now, it's because they've loved CS2. I know some influencers that love Overwatch because it's a like TF2 that's constantly updated, that changes, which is what people want. Uh,
Yeah. It-
so this is positive. It
yeah.
just comes at a weird time sometimes.
Does does
Uh,
TF2.
so I
And I
think
guess
yeah.
I have to add one thing. There's a joke in the Overwatch community, and they call it TF3.
Yeah, because it's TF3. It is. It's like if Valve were to grab TF2 and actually make it release TF3, I feel like that's what they would do. They'll just add ultimates.
Aye.
It's-
Aye.
yeah. Anyway,
All right.
this is a big one for me at least, which
Hmm.
is the Nintendo could have the Switch. I mean, the Switch could have sick party support, sick third party support. Because there's actually a couple news here of very like it doesn't when I read this and like this doesn't sound something like not that Nintendo would do, but that they will sort of like allow as of recently with what I've seen on the previous consoles. Um, but it's good that they're promoting it for this one because I think that this is the way to go. But the first one here is from Engadget, and it's a coding studio will help you design games on the Switch. Fuse Code Studio will help you design games on the Switch, and this is, I think, big.
You say design games on your Nintendo Switch.
Like coding, it has full USB keyboard support. As long as you can plug it into the USB-C port there, you can
No shit.
type it out.
You see this right. Your own game. What kind of language is it using? Is it like a
It teaches you.
Nintendo jargon? It teaches you.
It's supposed to teach you a language, and the thing is that, you know, I have my, Surface right here. Like this is, you ideally will code on a laptop, or something here. But the thing is that this doesn't have so much dedicated GPU. You have to use integrated graphics so you can code, you can make the game. But when it comes testing it out, it's gonna be frustrating. It's gonna be a little bit. The Switch is basically a GPU.
Dude, that is bonkers. We've never had a console that you can freaking develop games on. Wonder how valid it's gonna be.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
It says here that this is a tweaked version of Basic. So, I mean, if this is not the end platform that you use to code your games, it very much can be a way to teach you how to code games.
yeah, I wish I had that when I was a kid.
Right?
Learning how to code while playing freaking Smash Brothers, you know?
Dude, wouldn't it be cool if you could, like, you know, get the. Obviously, I don't think they'll let you do that, but get the code from the game. Like, let's say
Yeah.
you get the code from from the new Zelda, you get to edit it on this, and then you put it back out and see how it changes.
Yeah. Dude, I would destroy the physics on it. Like those physics attacks that you can do on it.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be my fast travel system. You just gotta use a rock. That's how you get there.
Yeah, yeah. But and the thing is that the big part here is the USB keyboard, because that means that the bottom part, it's open. The USB-C, it's open for people to use. That means that, like, this one right here, Nyko replaces the Nintendo Switch dock for a smaller,
Yeah.
better one. Well, not better, but smaller version. Like, here. You look at this and talk about what you think about it while I pull this up.
Yeah, so Nyko, this third party um, game component creator,
kind of like
they make like off brand controllers and shit.
Yeah, they're kind of
They-
like Mad Cats.
They make a better dock than Nintendo did.
And I think about for the same price, if not cheaper. Like, this is
If not cheaper.
the current dock. You know, here's next to a Yeti. It's about as tall as the Yeti, and it's like, I actually had to take it so that because otherwise you're playing on the Switch screen, and if you're playing multiplayer, you want to plug it into a TV. So you have to carry this. There's no case for this or anything. That one is tiny. That one is just the thing it sits on, and it has this power and HDMI, which is all you need.
Aye.
And the biggest thing is that, did you ever had a Game Boy? Did you ever had a like,
Yeah.
old school Nintendo?
Yeah, I did.
Do you
A
remember?
Super NES and
Do
yeah.
you remember, like, all the crazy peripherals that you could put on a Game Boy? Like, do you remember Nintendo at one point had a Game Boy printer?
I had that printer. It goes to the Game Boy camera game, and you could make stickers and whatnot. Yeah,
Yeah, the Game Boy printer. Like,
yeah,
this was cool. Or, like, the Game Boy, you had to have like a little flashlight or the little light on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, exactly
Use
that
it.
one. Even
Yeah.
with this one, you still had to have this, um, because because that's like what you had to have, and because it allowed to other companies to solve the problem that those things had, because they had no backlit, they weren't backlit, they had no backlight, they had no printer built in. So I guess Nintendo was like, we should make one.
that's funny as hell. I never actually thought of that, but Nintendo really does have a history of.
Yeah, and
of-
I will say that I will go as far as saying that they were at their peak, kind of around that era, because of things like that. Because they said, okay, we're obviously, like, we're a software developer as well when it comes to game, like a video game developer. We gotta build our online platform. We gotta build all these other things. We cannot bother about what thing we can or not plug into our system.
Hmm.
Let's make third parties like Nyko here bother about that,
Hmm.
and we'll focus on making this thing sell. You know, and it will
Yeah,
sell. It will
yeah,
sell because now that that someone's gonna be able to use this little port that is universal for a myriad of things.
yeah.
It's gonna be great.
That's very pure. It's
Yeah.
something that you don't see anywhere else. Nintendo does one thing really well. I think Kevin made that point on our last episode,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just another way to show that.
Yeah.
They make some damn fine games.
Oh yeah, they do. They do.
I, I would take a damn fine game over a optimized docking port any day.
I so would I. But let's see what comes out. Let's see, because Nintendo and the Switch still a little bit too early thing to call it. It's still a little.
Mm.
There's still things coming.
Yeah,
But let's move on here
true
to.
story.
Let's move on here. I think that that's enough for the Switch. Let's move on here to Sega Forever makes classic games free to play
Yo,
on
Sega,
mobile.
Sega muscling in. I see you, Sega.
This, this comes from Polygon. So classics like Sonic the Hedgehog, Phantasy Star 2, all of these are now free. Free. They're free for you to play. They have ads,
Yeah.
but they're free.
You just download them like anything else on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And
And you can pay to
bring it
remove
back.
those ads, but I think it's pretty interesting because you got big developers, Nintendo, now Sega, pushing the games out there. Not only putting them out because I believe Square Enix already had them, the Final Fantasies. They put them out, and but you have to pay for them. These though,
Mm.
they're free. They're free. Play my Sega game. Play Nintendo games. Fire Emblem, Mario
Having
Runner.
having never played a Sega game before, this is a really cool opportunity.
Really, you
At
haven't
least,
played
at least
one?
just for me. I have not played. I did not own a Sega. Maybe I played one indirectly, but no, not ever.
Hmm.
So it's actually an opportunity to kind of catch up on a bit of history.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. If you wanna play the original, the OG, and I
Mhm.
think that's great because
I never went fast, not even once.
they're recognizing that the games that you play on your mobile are simple. You're not playing this big GPU complicated games or anything.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it's great. And I think it's great that they want exposure. They want numbers rather than sales.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
really cool.
yeah,
It's really cool.
yeah,
And I guess speaking of throwbacks, next up we got Crash Bandicoot was remastered.
yeah.
Um,
It actually released this week, if I am correct.
this week.
Yes.
Is it free or do you have to buy it?
You have to buy it, and it's on the PS4, obviously.
Oh, it's on the PS4?
Yeah.
Oh, probably on the PSN.
Nah.
Alright, that's
PSN.
cool.
Um, but the cool things about it is that the remaster was rebuilt nearly from scratch.
Yeah, no kidding. Like,
Mhm.
all the assets,
Okay, so most
it's like,
most of
damn.
it was lost. The studio that got it, they said that they requested for the materials, and the only thing that they could find were 3D meshes. So that's something crucial. But they did had to go in and eyeball, make video comparisons with what they were developing and over here, and make sure like that's a lot.
It probably, like, I don't know if you guys have played Crash Bandicoot, but the game got annoying.
Yes, it got
Even when I
hard.
was young, yeah. So it's a good thing they did some stuff from scratch.
Yeah,
Um,
it was buggy.
but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
yeah,
they had to fix a lot of bugs.
I. But sometimes I still have dreams with that music in it. That bump it up, bump
Yeah,
it up, bump it.
and the mask guy, you know, when you like hit it, when you hit
Ah,
the mask, it just like
oh my god! Oh
yeah.
no, no! Oh,
No, and
was
when
it?
it evolved,
Oh
that
no,
was what it said. But
that's Banjo Kazooie, huh?
no, but it was something like that. It was something like, you know,
Yeah,
foresty,
Kubita,
tribally sort of thing.
Kubita, yeah. Forget tribal masks.
And now you can play at the as the chick, as the. By the
It's
way,
Coco. Yeah,
yeah,
it's Coco.
it's good.
Huh?
You can now play as her. And
I remember being so confused in Crash Bandicoot 1. Like, Coco was like this curvaceous hedgehog woman.
mhm.
And in Crash Bandicoot 2, she's just like the same as Crash, but like wearing jeans and a tank top. And just like, who is this person? What happened to Coco? Childhood
It's a
mysteries.
little, yeah. And I'm just excited for it. And I was thinking of how to transition to this one, kind of, because it's a weird kind of news that we have here now. Um, Merkel, it's coming to Gamescom. Angela Merkel,
Angela Merkel. Who is Angela Merkel?
the president of Germany,
The president of Germany.
the prime
Huh?
minister,
Oh, the prime minister. I'm like, wait, president.
chancellor.
Ah,
She's the
the
high.
chancellor.
She's the
Let me off this roller coaster.
she's the king. She's the king. Okay.
He's the king. Oh, the freaking pop.
So
So she's going to Gamescom. What's she doing? Is she like
she's just
breaking
gonna.
out
She's
a bottle
gonna.
of champagne over someone? Or
She's gonna open. Yeah, she's gonna be opening the. Gonna be opening the event basically. She's gonna start
oh,
out, make some talk, and then yeah. This
the
is
king, the king of Germany,
queen. It's
opening
a woman.
the queen, the queen of Germany,
It's
of
a
freaking Germany.
chancellor. Germany also doesn't have. German
At a
doesn't.
video game convention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
that was
and
big.
this is big. The other biggest thing that like, what I say second biggest. It's the Danish team from CS:GO. When they've won something big, they've gone back and talked to like, you know, big political people. I think even to the president, and you know, the president. But it was also all like inside, like indoors, and then they publicized it to the press.
Hmm.
Um, and they also in Denmark they're starting a players association, like politically like a thing for
Hmm.
esport players. Um, which is good. It seems like they're moving in the right direction. But Angela Merkel opening Gamescom, that's huge.
You said it. Yeah.
It's insane. That's
Wow.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
actually pretty cool. Like, yeah. And
So game. Alright.
you take us to the new releases. Oh, those are YouTube videos. I cannot play this, but yeah.
Can't play them. Oh, so you just have to listen to my descriptions, which is a shame because the first on the list is all about colors.
Hover.
It's called Hover: The Revolt of Gamers. It's a
So
indie
edgy.
game, quarter 4 release, sort of like a mixture of Tony Hawk, Jet Set Radio, and Mirror's Edge. So you're like a technicolor group of skaters on the rooftops of a techno city, just going around, getting into all kinds of shenanigans. There's all these game modes that you can do: time attacks, tag teams. There's a trick stunt mode, just like you would see in freaking Tony Hawk. You can race versus people or CPUs, and I think there's even a story mode too. So it's gonna be cool. Good for people who like rhythm games.
Yeah, rhythm games.
Yeah, we're seeing the link. I don't know if we can paste links. but it reminded me kind of like Beat Hazard. If you ever played it.
I know, but I like rhythm games, but I never like because they're kind of like hidden object games. Like they're not as common for you to add, so that's why I haven't played them. But you know, when I saw you guys playing Big Fish, I was like, ooh, this game I could like, and I bought it and played it for a while. Which was one and two. So this is a game that I feel like it's a little. It seems like it relies on having a lot of game modes, which is fine. And it actually, now that I think about it, a little bit better. I think I don't want something else to play with us for a while. Maybe one of the
Yeah.
Totally.
Totally.
Did you have it? Or are you gonna get it?
I will get it. It's not out yet. It's sometime in the fourth quarter of 2017. So hopefully in a few months we'll see it.
Oh, it's coming out.
One of my favorite games is Jet Set Radio,
It's
made by
coming out for
Sega in
PC.
2000.
So we can
It
play
was
it.
fresh and
Yes,
original
maybe I'll even
for its
nominate it
time
for the
and
book
even
club.
today.
Yeah.
Play the role of
Let me.
rollerblading
And while we're in
Do you
the
get
topic
stuff
of
games?
while we're in the topic of rhythm games, I do want to talk about Parappa
and the
I mean,
United States.
the
As he spray
Project
paint
Rap
walls that run
Rabbit
from the
that
ever-present
did not
police
get
and
funded.
later military and assassins.
You remember when we talked
The
about
story
it,
is absurd.
that
It's
Parappa
told
the
primarily
Rapper
through
slash
radio
Guitar
announcements through a
Man
DJ.
collab.
The whole thing oozes
Yeah, I remember
corny
that.
but cool
It
in
did
that
not
Sega
get
It's not
kind of
funded.
way.
getting.
It did
Which
not
is
get
like a
funded
Hedgehog
on
used to do.
Kickstarter.
More
No
recently,
shit.
It
a
not only
three-person
did it
team
not
from
get
France
funded,
who were fans of Jet Set Radio decided to create their own game
they
inspired
like
by it.
I was thinking it was gonna
The
be one of
result
those
is
things that's
Hover,
like,
Revolt
oh,
of
we're not gonna get
Gamers.
funded, but
The
we're still
concept
gonna
is very
continue
similar to
to
Jet Set
make it,
Radio.
and
In
we're
a city in the
we're
future,
talking to some
gaming and
publishers
entertainment
just
in
like, you
general
know,
is outlawed.
Yeah.
We're
it
therefore
didn't get
criminals
funded,
simply
but
for wanting to have
the
fun.
marketing was good enough
We
for
fight
us
back
to get
against the
funding
oppressive
somehow.
government by smashing anti-video game
They straight up
propaganda
came and said
signs,
that we're gonna
spray
pause
painting
it
walls,
until we figure
and
something
you
out.
perform various random missions given by
I see.
townspeople and major
So they
characters.
straight up said it's not happening.
The main difference
per
between
se.
Hover and Jet Set Radio is
Like,
the
they
format.
still want to
Jet
do
Set
it,
Radio is a single-player game divided
but
itself
I guess they
into
want a
levels
more
with only one goal.
reliable, like
Usually it's spray paint the marked walls.
like actual
Hover,
funding, I
meanwhile,
guess.
is an open world
Yeah,
game
a
with MMO
budget would be
elements.
nice.
You coexist with all
Yeah,
other
you still
players
have
and
to
may come
eat
across them as you
and still
navigate the
have to
city. You perform
buy
missions and gain
CPUs and
experience
everything.
points, which
And
you may
these
You
are-
use
know them
along
CPUs.
with items
And
they
these
earn
are,
to level up
big
your character's
guys, so you
abilities
know.
such as speed and jumping
Right.
and grinding power.
Yeah, from what I remember, it
movement
was
is
like
similar between the two
a
games,
lot
but
of
different.
heavy hitters in
Both
those
games are
two
about
games
parkour,
were
but Hover has
collaborating
faster
on this
movement,
one.
and its
Yeah.
parkour involves a heavy
And
amount of jumping.
Extravagant
You grab
lifestyles,
onto
I
ledges,
imagine.
Yeah,
briefly
but
run
that's
upward
not a game that's
along
gonna be
walls,
released. We're talking about a
and you
game
can
that's
even
not
bounce
released.
off the
A
ground
game that
high into the air if you
is
fall a great
now in
distance.
early access.
You can even rewind
And
your movement, tracing your steps
will be
backwards
released
and
hopefully
undoing any
within a
missed
year.
jumps.
That's
In both games,
tell
you
me
grind
more
on
about
surfaces
that.
such as fences or
That's the thing.
wires.
Alright,
Despite
alright.
some significant
Dead
differences, the two
Cells,
games
let's
have a lot in
see.
common.
Oh, you play as
Jet Set Radio was the
you're
inspiration
like,
for Hover
like
after
this
all.
bit of algae.
Now I want to
right?
make one thing
And
clear.
you just come
Hover
get
is currently
extruded
in
out
early
of
access,
the wall.
which means that the game is
and
not
kinda
considered
slam
finished.
your way down the wall.
But people have the ability to
And
purchase
you
it
enter
early
in
and try it if they
recently
wish.
deceased
And I did
corpse.
just that, and I'm glad that I did,
And then
despite
you
some
go
issues
and
that I have with
cause
the game.
absolute
Both
mayhem
games are about
and
parkour,
carnage
but how do they control?
through a series of
It's difficult to
dungeons,
actually show in
leveling
the
up as you
video,
go,
but Jet Set
collecting
Radio's
items as you
controls are a
go,
bit stiff. And if you're going to
until
play that
you
game,
reach
you're going to wrestle
the
with those
end.
controls. It's hard to aim jumps
And the
exactly,
lineage
and
may
to
be
aim things like jumping
explained.
towards
Haven't
a wall and
played
skate on it
Hollow
before launching
Knight.
off. Doing those
Just
things is
recently,
fun, but it takes a lot
Hollow
of skill to
Knight
pull
2.0.
them off and practice to get that good.
Pretty.
Hover has the same
I don't know,
mechanics and
pretty
then
different.
some,
The combat
such as
is a
running
lot
up walls
different.
and climbing
Yeah,
them by
yeah.
repeatedly
It's,
jumping into
It
them.
still has
The controls are
platformers.
much more smooth and
Still
fluid, making
platforming, yeah.
pulling off these moves
It's
easier to
very
do.
closed in. It's more
Both
linear
games
than
involve
Hollow
running
Knight
from them
was.
all. A corrupted,
And,
oppressive law, making
more
them technically the
RNG
bad
too. It's
guys.
more of a dungeon crawler.
When you're chased by the cops
or
in Jet
a
Set
roguelike.
Radio, it's fun.
Talking
you jump
about
over them, try to outstate them,
RNG,
and there are many
as
close
we're gonna
calls.
play.
You also
oh
see
wait,
them a
explain
lot.
this audio. Oh, freaking! Don't copyright me. What you call it? That other game,
It's-
the Hover.
There's another one on our new releases. Oh, Dead Cells is actually in its alpha stage, beta stage, open beta, pre-release. It's in a pre-release stage, and you can find it on Steam.
Do you like
Mm.
early access? Talking about this, do you like early access?
Not really, no. I mean, it's cool to experience the game, but it can also change your perspective on it in either a good way or a bad way with how you play through it
Hmm.
in the future. Because you'll be like, oh, it was completely different, and
Yeah, yeah, that's another
maybe
thing.
characters change, and so I guess you do get a bit more perspective.
Like
But
people don't realize, or some people I feel don't realize PUBG is early access, and it's just bringing people in.
you say PUBG?
Yeah, players on Battleground.
Oh, I haven't played that.
The battle royale, the newest battle royale, frenzy.
Ah, that's right. I do remember that.
Yeah,
Sort of like a DayZ.
yeah, but it's only battle royale. Like
Aye.
it's only the mod battle royale. Yes, the same gameplay that has been
Mm.
a mod in other games. In Arma, they see H1C1 was like at first half battle royale. It's
Mm.
now a full game, but it's early access yet. It's getting crazy popular right now.
Which is freaking awesome.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's good.
Hmm.
But
So I guess early access really does have its merits.
I think it does. I think it does. It's not a bad thing. You just gotta be aware of the consequences. It's kind of like back in a Kickstarter game. You just gotta know that at any point it could be out.
Yeah, it could also turn people off on it too.
Yes. All right. Let's move on to this other game that it's a thing.
Master X Master. It's
MOBA.
Heroes of the Storm, but with NCSoft. Well, not quite. I mean, it's a MOBA. You play as two heroes, and you can switch out as you
That,
would
that,
in a
that's kind
fighting
of cool.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it uses NCSoft's IPs, so it's using
Yeah.
their MMO.
Yeah.
It
Right
uses
here.
Aeon and Wildstar. Oh, you got a list?
Uh, I can pull it up. I don't know if it
Wildstar
has
and
a list. Yeah.
and it uses a bunch of their IPs.
Yeah.
And
Here's a list. It's actually like a pretty. It's a pretty sizable one. One thing that I think is a problem sometimes with MOBAs releases is that they're like, we have 10 characters, but more coming. You know.
yeah, yeah. Stay tuned.
Yeah. This
But
one
no,
is yeah. This
it's
one's
actually
good.
got a pretty good cast. Yeah,
Hmm.
and I was surprised by like how entertaining it is. I did not think it would be good, but it's got just enough J-pop, and it's got actually a lot of polish on it too.
Hmm.
Solid mechanics. It reminds me a little bit of Diablo. There's PvE and PvP.
Hmm.
It's actually very well done. A little bit grindy.
I was
A little bit grindy.
I was gonna play it the other day. Kevin invited me to play it, but I actually tried to make an account and it kept saying no, no, error, error, error. Uh,
Yeah.
make sure you update it to the latest Flash and Java, and then I mean it's
Mm,
Chrome. It keeps updated itself. Um,
right.
I turned off AdBlock and I still couldn't, but
Yeah. The hurdles of being new, it
yes,
seems.
yes. But now let's move on to tech. Looks like a cool
Hmm.
game, but let's move on to saving the internet. Private Ryan. I mean,
Ah,
be neutral with net neutrality. Gain net neutrality inside of you. Like the word net as in like total, and neutrality as in balance. So it's kind of like a yoga pose.
true neutral, like the neutralites from Futurama.
Yes, but I mean, we got a pretty big number of huge companies here. So you tell me more about this.
Yeah, dude. July 12th is a internet-wide day of protest against companies who would infringe on our rights on the internet. So they would have it that websites are like channels on TV, and you would need to pay for specific websites like
Or
YouTube
packages.
or packages.
Yeah.
Like from Amazon.
No.
They're taking cuts off the top, dude.
I mean,
What do
yeah, they
you
could be like the
What do you
shopping.
mean?
They could be like the buy the shopping package and get access to
Oh,
Amazon, Etsy, you know, or
yeah,
buy the premium package and get access to all of these other get access to all of these websites for just two nine $9.99 more, $2.99 more, even a
pretty
cent
fucked up.
more. No, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty damn fucked up.
But do
Uh,
you think there's actually a difference? Like, what is it that makes a difference? TV from the internet, because ideally, ideally, if that were to happen, like the good, like let's go full positive. Let's say we're talking that is good.
Hmm.
Then you wouldn't see ads on any of these websites because they can make, or you'll see less ads, or they can be less intrusive because they can make more revenue from the companies paying for the premium package.
you can block ads.
Yeah.
Like, if it were a good thing, all right, let's try and think of some positives.
There's no positive to
I
it.
can't think of many. Like, we do not benefit at all. I mean, there might be less ads, but
It
you could
completely.
just install ad block.
It could,
Like,
which is also one of the companies that supports
right?
this. Because AdBlock
Like,
is a company now. It's a company
is
now.
that so? And ad block supports net neutrality.
It's a company.
Oh, it does. Yeah, there it is. I can't believe it's a company now.
It is a
I
company
don't know
now
how they
that
make money.
they
Not on ad
actually.
revenue. Oh,
Okay,
sorry,
I
sorry.
can have another show for telling you how fucked up it is, but at least they support this. It's
Oh, yeah.
because the internet has, it's difference in the sense of it's an exchange of information. It's two way. It's two way all the time. If you put a paywall to that two way, you're like Twitch wouldn't be as big. Twitch wouldn't be as big straight up. You're literally hampering growth by putting a paywall on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, and that's a cool way to put it. I never thought about that. It is two-way. Like
Mhm.
we, we created the internet. I mean, the infrastructure was there. We certainly didn't make that, but
Yeah,
we colored it in.
yeah.
We made it what it is.
Obviously people have been bigger. There's
Mm.
people that have had bigger influences, but the fact this
Right.
show is on the internet, we're making this like we're making the fact that you can go on Twitch and tune in to any podcast that you want. Right
Right.
now, as we make this, because three
So we're
people got
numberless.
together. Yeah, three people got together and said, "Fuck it, let's do this."
Exactly. With net neutrality, you'd have to pay to
You
see our lovely faces, and that's just a travesty.
you paid to go to Twitch, right?
Pay to go to Twitch?
You
It's
paid.
like shit, dude.
So if you're paying to go to Twitch, you're paying therefore to see the tournaments, to see that. Like you wouldn't, the people that will pay to go to Twitch would never tune into this.
Pay-per-view esport tournaments? Now that would be evil. Oh no, dude.
So
I hope it never comes to it. So on July 12th, go to battleforthenet.com and join in protest and make sure this never happens.
please, please.
We'll have
I
links.
know-
We'll have links in YouTube.
And this is for the US. I'm pretty sure that's another thing. It will segment the US away from the internet, and the US has a big influence on the internet right now. And I don't see why they wouldn't want that.
Aye. Go the way of censorship. Oh.
But let's just move over. Let's just go on.
Happier times.
Onto
Oh yeah, we're covering a war.
war.
Covering
Yeah.
a war today, you guys.
It's the blue guys versus the red guys again.
Mm-hmm. Intel versus AMD. The core
Mhm.
war just got escalated.
Because we got AMD. Intel just announced i9. We got a Threadripper on the other side coming up soon. both are, you want cores, here, just have them all the cores, just have all the fucking cores.
Why can't I hold all these cores?
So many cores.
There's too many channels. they they both released 2 new GPUs. Sorry, CPUs. With 32 cores apiece, up to, and 16.
That'll be expensive. Just
in
jump it
channels,
in.
Yeah.
But
no one is gonna need this.
but you're mostly interested about the lower, for us, it's gonna be about the lower end of those that we might be able to afford, or
Yeah.
the trickle
8
down,
cores,
the
16
little bit.
cores.
Yeah.
Still, it'll cost you.
I forget, I have the 6800K, which I believe is a 6 core. And I do people don't realize it, but when you're multitasking, when you have 2 monitors, sure, an i7 will work for you just fine. It'll work for you just fine. If you get 700K, it'll even be better. It'll do fine. But when you have 2 monitors and you want to stream and also do Skype and also play a video game, and I do some work at I do use video editors. The more power you get, the more you want to push it. The more you want to push it, all that. And I think these are right now. Nothing is very extremely optimized to benefit from extra cores other than video editing and animation and those specific what was the other one, yeah, exactly.
Anything big data, if you're doing video processing, that could take a lot.
But have you heard of DirectX 12 and Vulkan?
No, I haven't.
They're the low-level APIs. When you install a new Steam game, it's like installing DirectX X10 usually, or 11 recently.
Yeah.
DirectX 12 and Vulkan being open source, are low-level APIs that are gonna benefit from more cores. So in a way, if you buy one of these CPUs, and this hasn't happened in a long time, CPUs that have slight future-proof in this case, because once those games come out and they properly support multiple cores, you're gonna benefit from having 6 cores. You're gonna benefit from a little bit more core count, more than the gigahertz oomph that other people have. So your game it's gonna run smoother. It's gonna run better from these new level APIs, because right now all you need is technically 4 cores, and if you have an i7, you have 4 cores that are threaded. So the CPUs on the OS side of things, in a way, the OS is 16 cores that it could use, in a sense.
So, are we ever going to need this many cores?
Not 32.
Any
not
game,
32.
is this the end of improvement?
No, I don't think it's the end of improvement, but it opens a new area where having 6 cores is actually a benefit. Because right now, if I think my 6800K would run a game slower by a few frames, I'm thinking 5. Compared to...
It can actually matter, quite a bit.
Yeah, compared to a CPU that has a higher gigahertz boost clock. But with Vulkan and DirectX 12, it could switch it to the other way, because it makes sense. Have more cores, it benefits you. You can spread out the load through all those more cores. So, and it's good to see a rivalry right now, because it means that in this area, when it's growing, it's gonna grow in a healthy environment because there's one side punching the other, so they're actually trying to beat each other. And in fact, I think this is big in my eyes. Alienware now has a Threadripper on one of their computers, their packaged computers. This is coming from Ars Technica.
No shit, yeah.
And Alienware is all about the excess, the
Yeah.
over the top. You can play anything the
Yeah.
hell you ever wanted on this thing. And they're saying AMD Threadripper, it's that.
Yeah, there it is, in an Alienware. How much are those things running for? Do you know?
At least 1700, right here. At least 1700.
Actually, it's not bad for one of those things. It's probably not a 32 core.
The
So I
thing
think
is,
those are around 2,000 for one of those things.
it says it will support Threadripper
Just
and
the core.
Skylake. So it's saying that it'll feature like different configurations here. It'll support Threadripper and Skylake up to 3 graphic cards. So this starts at 1700. It's not sure whether that is Threadripper or Intel. How high does it go? All that
Yeah,
stuff.
it is interesting they would choose AMD's Threadripper, because historically Intel has been better for gaming.
Yeah.
Alienwares are typically gaming PCs.
Yeah.
So interesting there.
It's very exciting, and hopefully, I mean, this is only a thing that's gonna be benefit the consumer, because it's AMD versus Intel, and it's at the same time that cores are expanding, so it's good for the growth. But let's move on to more in AMD news. Actually, Radeon. Have you heard of Radeon Vega?
Vega, yeah, it's a gaming platform, isn't it?
It's the new GPU from AMD.
Oh, Sega.
No, Vega.
Oh. What the heck is Vega?
It's the new GPUs from AMD, the new
Ooh, new GPU.
new GPUs. Well, they're releasing also what you might call it. It's the first showcase of this. It's not the full-on GPU that's gonna be out for gamers, but it's the first we get to glimpse at it. The little peeking eye towards what it could be. So we got here from Tom's Hardware. They talk about the Epic lineup, which is servers chips using the new Ryzen architecture. So, by the way, that's important. AMD is going to servers. It's attacking Intel from everywhere, servers, gaming, everything. But here we have Radeon Instinct lineup for 2017. Instinct. This is for servers, for those especially neural networks and deep dream and those kinds of architectures that require high-end computing power, because these
Neural networks, like artificial intelligence.
not quite. Deep learning, more like.
Deep learning. All
Yes,
right.
Yes.
So those robots that are really good at
It's
playing
heading that
Go.
way. It's heading that way, but we're not there quite yet, George. Just reckon. We're not there quite yet, but it's heading that way. So
Well, that's cool as heck.
then we got here several. Oh wait, if I click, okay, yeah, we got here several based on several architecture going all the way back to Fiji, which is about 3 generations ago for AMD, I believe. Polaris is the one that's currently out, the 450 and 550s and all those. But I want to make note of here that this training accelerator, which is for, again, neural networks and deep learning, that's why it's called training accelerators, training the computer. It's featuring the Vega GPU architecture. It's a dual slot card compared to this one single slot, and this one is dual slot but it's tinier. It's also HBM2 RAM, which is higher than DDR5 RAM. It's bandwidth
shit.
galore.
No shit.
If this
Yeah.
is This is DDR2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. Just HBM2 is like bam. So, is it actually gonna get to the gaming cards? I doubt it.
Hmm.
But it can
Again.
like it could. It could. It's on that one right there, and that one's a Vega.
Maybe like a baby version.
Maybe like a big and it, look. Let's pull the the Microsoft here. 12.3 teraflops, 24.6.
3.12 teraflops.
Can you flop that much?
I could never flop that much. And a teraflop, I'll be flopping until the end of my days. This thing does it in like 3 seconds.
Okay,
Less.
Okay, but hold on. Look at these other ones too. These are not whatever. Okay, whatever. Let's just move on from the teraflops.
What the heck is a teraflop? Like,
It's
I have no
computing
idea what a
unit.
teraflop is. It's a computing unit?
It's how much
They call it...
data in.
What should we call it? Let's call it a flop.
Yeah, and then it goes up to teras and all that.
Gigaflops,
So
gigaflops.
it's how fast it's computing, like how much data it's computing, but that's not what makes it relevant. And what makes it more relevant is how fast and like not how much it peaks, but how consistent it is in a sense. So yeah, let's move on from that to let's talk. I must skip that one's green. Let me talk about WannaCry. That is still around.
Freaking WannaCry. What did WannaCry do now?
It shut down a plant on a Honda plant on
No shit.
in Japan.
In Japan.
Yes,
Huh?
it shut down a Honda plant in Japan.
That's sure as shit.
Well, it didn't. The Honda plant shut down because WannaCry was found in its network, and they don't want to get like they want to shut down provisionally. Ideally, they caught it before it infected the entire network.
Aye.
Nonetheless, this plant makes 1,000 vehicles a day. So the fact that it had to be shut down for a day, it means that it was a thing. 1,000 vehicles. It's not a.
Could it? Yeah.
It's not nothing.
Could WannaCry find its way into a car's computer? Like, you're like driving to the grocery store.
It's just
They just take over your car.
to release your car, pay so many bitcoins.
It is gonna be hard to get those bitcoins.
Okay, so for the next 2-3 for the next year, 2 years, don't buy Honda. In fact, if you buy a used car down the road, don't buy Honda 2017 cars or 20. just to be in the safe.
Spoil patch. It's gone the way of Bluebell.
But let's talk about something else that went on the way of Bluebell.
Alright.
But it's somehow now updated. Google Glass. Do you remember Google Glass?
Remember Google Glass. People getting really upset that you could be like snapping pictures of them and whatnot, and they would never know.
Except you have to say, "Okay, Google, take a picture." It's like.
I guess there's that.
That was the stupidest. When people were like, "What about safety? What about like?"
Oh.
Hey, it's obvious that they have a Google Glass, and also they have to be like glass do this.
Right. Those are the same people who put tape over their webcams.
I I think webcams should come with built-in blinder. I do understand. I do
Like
think
little blinds, you just pull it down.
just pull it. I do think that, but more for the sense of protecting the lenses and protecting the glass. Um, just because they're crappy, like, this stream right now on Twitch is like all kinds of grainy and everything, and like a big scratch or something on that. Though it's acrylic, so mostly. Anyway, back to Google Glass.
I was about to go on about freaking webcams.
Google,
Okay, what?
Google Glass
What are they
updates.
doing?
First updates in September 2014. They add Bluetooth support.
Oh my god. What? Now they had Bluetooth support.
Not only that, like 3 years after, they're like, oh like, the Google find this on their folder and they're like, oh fuck, we forgot about this one.
We didn't put in what?
They honestly haven't said, like, is it that is Google Glass dead? Does this mean that they still support it? Who knows?
Yeah.
But if you have a Google Glass, which you probably don't because it was never sold to consumers and it was only given to influencers and important peoples and people that were featured on their the invitation basis that they had, you can now connect it to your wireless headphones, I guess. So that's cool.
And you can listen to what you're seeing.
Let's just let's move on to the randos, because
Random bullshit.
enough of Google Glass. Let's talk about Bitcoins.
What coins? Alright, that one's mine, and that's what I said earlier. It's gonna be hard to get enough butt coins to pay off your WannaCry. Because Bitcoins are now worth like 2.6 thousand US dollars. Like for
Where
a
did
single
this come
Bitcoin.
from? Where, like, people thought Bitcoins was dead, but apparently it's just,
I was doing so much research on this, it's like trying to understand like what the hell Bitcoin's even, but I still don't know. I cannot explain this to you.
I think it was one of those things that, like, it was at first when it came out, everybody was on the craze, and everybody was just Bitcoin mining and buy a bunch of
Right,
ricer
and,
cards so you can
Like
just
shops were using it.
Yeah, and hardware, like software was secretly Bitcoin mining. There were a lot of scandals about like low level software and whatnot, Bitcoin mining and shit. People's computer.
Like at that point it was your electricity bill was more expensive than the Bitcoins you were mining because you need so many CPUs linked together to mine a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Now it might actually be lucrative now.
I think it is, although
Who
it's
buys that?
popular. The thing is just that it's one of those things that when a market goes up, when's the in the news they're always like, when's the bubble gonna burst? When's it gonna burst? It's
Unlimited value.
It's obviously gonna go up at one point, and then it's gonna come back down. But it ideally stabilizes higher than what it started when the peak started going up. So,
Ideally, but Bitcoin has been trending pretty wildly for a while now, and it's been trending very much upward this year. I don't know why. There's somewhere that will tell you, but Bitcoins are insane. If you ever bought a Bitcoin now, you're now wealthy. Congratulations.
I mean, I think they're just popular because it's it overpasses the idea of a currency of having to deal with a bank with payment. If you're in Russia and you have to make a payment in the States or in South America for whatever reason that it is, you like Peruvian potatoes specifically from a farm. How you gonna get
from Vladislav's farm in Peru.
Not only how you're gonna convert your currency, but how you're gonna pay with your bank to that Peruvian, Bitcoin. This ideally just says, well, this is a currency you can send anybody in the world. It's convenient.
Yeah, cryptocurrency.
It makes sense, and it has the idea of also the cryptocurrency that you cannot track those those transactions. So obviously some illicit activities with that. So I think it actually just a lot of people have supported it, and after the craze on it happened, even though it was less popular, people still supported it. Like, it just wasn't in the news.
Yeah, dude.
But people still remember. They still had their Bitcoin farms. They said, you know what? I got all GPUs and whatever that I can just, and all CPU. I'll just put something together and just let it, just let it do its thing, and it's gonna make some money. And now it's
Buy some. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Who knows? Markets. All right, Daniel. What is your random bullshit?
So, do you like Finland? Have you been to Finland? I have not been to Finland.
I've never been.
But
For some reason, I think of shoes.
But you do know that that area of the world is being very progressive, in very
harmonious, and they got like happiness metrics.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the thing is that it's also one of the happiness metrics I don't trust a lot, because it's one of those things. Well, how much of those people have also been out of the country, so that they can actually accurately measure their happiness in their country as. But let's not get into that, because they are now testing a new form of welfare. A new form of welfare that means if you're a person who is unemployed in between jobs or something, you are, you don't get unemployment, you just get an unconditional salary. You get an unconditional salary no matter what, and they're testing it out right now. It's only here that I've originally read in The Economist. The idea is that you get an unconditional salary, 560 euros a month. They're talking about this guy who's in the test, and they're testing out what people can do with it. What do they go and find a better job? Do they themselves become freelancers or something that can be done? This, as you can see, it's a carpenter. Like, he is trying to work his local business, he's thinking about creating his local business, Mr. Jarbinen. But it's impossible because he's living off of his wife's wages, plus unemployment and child benefits. So he's really strapped for cash. He has to sometimes work part-time and everything. But this ideally is, money that he can rely on, so that he can have some time that he can take off, work on his business, and then eventually come back and have a thing that is lucrative for himself, that actually works the way that it should, rather than rushing in a business because I gotta make the next month's pay. The next month bills, and making your business fail because you rushed into things too quick. What do you think about it? And right now they're experimenting. Let me get the number here. But he's a person. They pick 10% of the workforce. Oh no, he was picked in random on a 2-year pilot to test out this.
And so
you get an unconditional salary, as long as you're obviously unemployed or don't have instead of unemployment, the benefits.
Way to go, Finland.
Everybody gets an unconditional salary. If you have a job, obviously you don't qualify for it, but the idea is, if you're not doing anything, the idea is not that you're not doing anything, you're obviously trying to do something, it's just you might need some money. Not only that, let me go into more detail because it's cool. They're not only studying how this person reacts monetarily, but they're also, all anonymously, they're trying to see if these test subjects spend less on antidepressants. They spend less going to the doctor. How actual results of maybe they feel better. They don't need so many antidepressants. Maybe they feel better. They don't need to go to the doctor so much for stress related illnesses. Like, it's not only testing out whether this person will be successful at the end of this, it's also testing out whether this person will be happy. Does it improve quality of life for this person?
It sounds like a precursor to utopia, you know?
A little bit. Like, obviously, you're gonna get
very early step, but maybe
you're obviously gonna get some random stoner that's just like, great,
aye,
weed all day.
aye, maybe they would squander it, but they're still just as deserving as anybody else.
But no, exactly, and it's a small price to pay for all the fruition you bring up on the other side.
Social good. Like, I wonder if they'll even see crime decrease if it becomes more widespread.
Exactly, like,
No, they would. That's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. The idea is that what if people have a base to stand on? What if we make sure that people, can build themselves up
Be
if
safe.
we provide the resources?
Yeah, I mean, the adage goes, you've got to spend money to make money.
Yeah, exactly. You, like it, and that stands true today, tomorrow, every day. It will
Finland's
also,
like, let me support you.
yeah, it would also obviously. I feel like if it becomes country wide, it might affect the country market in a way that might try to cancel. Like, prices might go up and down. Like, some market assets will fluctuate. It'll be interesting to see what, and if it lines up with the probable finish. I guess the Finnish government does have some expectations after what happens, and it'll be interesting to see if those expectations line up. But how long do you think it would take the U.S. to pull something like that?
200 years. I mean, if we stop going backwards, anyways.
You don't think you don't think Trump will support it?
Only if Mexico pays for it. How about that? Criminy. That was really cool. It reminds me still of like Star Trek stuff where they just eliminate currency.
Yeah.
Just eliminate it. It's like, who needs it?
No, it's one of those things. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the biggest one for me is like eliminate borders, and it's not like Europe in a sense has eliminated borders in a sense.
Yeah.
But imagine one of those, like, you can just drive and be in the world. Not, here's my passport. Like, obviously, it's unrealistic and all that stuff. But you can drive to the area you like, and you make that your home.
Aye. And you live there as a citizen of the world.
Yeah.
Man. Now that take a lot of thinking. And it'll start small, but I think Finland's making a good step for it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
freaking awesome. Bud coins, new currency of the world.
Exactly.
It's coming.
I wonder they could test out this study by giving out bitcoins instead of, how they will spend
bitcoins
it.
for all.
Yeah. But that's gonna do it for today. That's the show for today.
The show.
Lots of things to cover because last week we did E3.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been news that have been piling up, and I try to focus mostly for news from this week. We did talk about a couple of things that happened last week, like Parappa the Rapper, Project Rap Rabbit, stuff like that. But today was a big show, and the big announcement, we're playing Darkest Dungeon again.
Yeah.
Join us on the Discord for whoever doesn't know. We're running a video game book club, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a book club.
Indeed.
For
Check
video
out the Discord. Everything you need to know.
Link should be down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, uh, we're playing Darkest Dungeon this month, actually till beginning of August, and at the end of it, we get together and discuss about it, discuss what we like and we didn't like. I'm using this as a motivation to play more games because I find myself busy to play games.
Right. Games you would normally play.
Exactly.
And you just
that's
talk
another
about
thing.
it.
That's
Get a new
another thing.
perspective on it. Yeah.
You get to discover cool things. I discovered I wouldn't have played Hollow Knight otherwise. I don't think so.
Me either. Me either. And it was a lot of fun. And now I feel like I actually understand Dark Souls because I played Hollow Knight.
Definitely. So check that out if you like. But otherwise, thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show. Later.
Bye.